Hey there guys, this is Flamsaron, aka YouTube's Tosuke. I figured I should talk about the Star Ocean series a good bit, since I've been playing Star Ocean Second Evolution on my PSP, and it's a lot like Tales, and I actually enjoy the series, so I think I'm going to talk about the series generally, and, just give my thoughts on the whole thing. So what can be said about the Star Ocean series? I mean, it's basically the Tales series' brother, since, the team that made the first Tales game quit Namco and formed Tri-Ace, and then they, made the first Star Ocean. I mean, there's a little more to it, but I don't want to get into that because I'd have to start talking about the Tales series. Then this is about Star Ocean. My favorite character is Claude C. Kenny from the second game. I think he's pretty cool. TransAngel likes to piss me off by calling him Claude C. Faggot, and in return I make fun of his favorite character, who happens to be Diaz, and I call him De-Ass. Because Diaz kind of sounds like De-Ass, and yeah, I think my joke's a little more clever than his. Anyway, the artwork in the entire series is pretty good, or at least I like it. It's a lot really futuristic in the look and the whole kind of thing to it. Hence, the term Star Ocean, which is basically a weird way to say space. And the music's pretty good. Battle system wise, it's pretty good. I really enjoy it. I kind of like how it's kind of free roaming and whatnot, without having to like press a button like what the Tales series has to do. One thing that I've noticed about the game is that it's extremely hard, which will probably appeal to more hardcore RPGers or more hardcore action people who like action RPGs, such as myself. But I mean, it's definitely harder than Tales. It's probably the hardest RPG I've ever played. And another thing I don't really like about the series, or at least the older games, is that if you get one secret character, because in this game, in the older games, it's all about secret characters. They don't join your party like any regular RPG and then have like one secret character that you can earn by doing certain stuff. But anyway, like if you get one secret character, it like pretty much screws up every other opportunity for you to get any other character. Like for example, let's take Star Ocean 2. And that one, I wanted to get Ashton because I wanted another melee user, because in my party I had Claude, who was the character I played as, and then I had Celine, who was the magic user, and Reyna, which was the healer. And that's not a very good team as far if you're trying to actually get through battles and actually play the game, or at least I think so, or at least in my opinion. I mean, I'm more of a melee person, but anyway, Claude was the only one really attacking the enemies head on, and that's kind of the. And while Celine was always charging up her magic, and granted she was doing the most damage, but battles took a little longer. Claude lost a lot of HP. He almost died at several points. I had to make sure that Reyna and Celine were not harmed, and there were like a bunch of enemies. There were more enemies than my 3-person party, so I wanted to get a melee person. And so when the time came, I went to go get Ashton. Hey, that thing where you go on that button, it's like, oh, did you hear about that dragon that's in the mines, blah, blah, blah. And so I went there, got Ashton. But then, as I progressed through the game, I learned that I had missed, like, a lot of opportunities to get other characters. Like, I couldn't get Precious, or Precious, or I don't know, the girl with the robot. I mean, I saw her, but I couldn't get her to join the party. I mean, I ended up getting Bowman in return, so that was pretty good. And he's pretty cool. I mean, he's essentially like the Elia of the game, I guess, in terms of fighting style. Also, I got Walsh because I looked up where to get her, and I saw that I was close to where I could get her, and so I figured, oh, well, I'll get her. And, she's kind of cute. I like her. She's pretty cute. And, yeah, I like her outfit, too. Yeah. But I missed like a bunch of opportunities to get, other characters. I mean, I don't think it's anywhere as drastic as friggin' Star Ocean 1. Like in the beginning, when you can get Ceus, like you basically can't get anybody else. and that kind of sucks. Like, but Cease was pretty cool, and he's essentially the replacement for Dorn. I mean, unless you Game Shark Dorn into the party. Since I don't really do Star Ocean Final Thoughts, I figured I should talk about each Star Ocean game in depth, or at least the ones that I've played. And I'm talking about the main ones, so I'm not going to mention the Game Boy one or anything like that. So let's start with Star Ocean 1. I played a little bit of the Super Famicom version, but I mainly played the PSP version, you know, First Departure. I really like the story. I really enjoyed it. I think it's the best Star Ocean story so far. I haven't really finished any other Star Ocean game except for Star Ocean 1, but so far I think it's the best story. I don't know. I think it kind of just drew me in or something, or I just enjoyed it more. When you play the original one, like its battle system, it's kind of weird because it's kind of turn-based, but that kind of makes sense because I think they I think they wanted to use the battle system in the original Tales of Fantasia, but I mean they couldn't because they didn't know if Namco was going to use that battle system, and of course they didn't. They just went back. They just started using basically a Destiny's battle system, and so Star Ocean, and so Trice took over the previous original Fantasia battle system, and gave it to Star Ocean, but added free run to it. When you look at the original Star Ocean, it definitely looks a lot like Fantasia. Like here, take a comparison. Here's a picture of Fantasia, and here's a picture of Star Ocean. They look pretty similar in my opinion, but that's just me. Overall, the game was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I didn't really get many secret characters though. Like my party consists of Roddick and Elia, Ceus, and then Millie. That was my party. Oh, and Roddick is my favorite character, or Radix, or Ratty, or whatever you want to call him. I just call him by his English name, Roddick. And Aronix was pretty cool. I thought he was pretty cool, and plus he's my favorite character out of the entire series' dad, so he kind of has to be, he's pretty cool in that regard. And now let's move on to Star Ocean 2. I played a little bit of the PlayStation version, but it was like on a ROM, but the main version that I played was the PSP version, Second Evolution. Game was pretty good. Favorite character is obviously Claude. The romance between Claude and Reyna is so cliche, though. It's like basically a soap opera teen drama going between them, and that's pretty funny. It's obvious that they both like each other, but Claude keeps getting jealous. And Reyna, she likes him too, but she thinks that he doesn't like her, or I don't know, some weird stuff. And she keeps going back to talking to Diaz. That kind of got on my nerves. Like, I'm going to go talk to Diaz, and friggin' Claude's all like, well then, you wonder why I'm always so pissed off at you. That's my Claude impersonation. I have to say, why do you think, Reyna, in order to start doing it off. It's kind of like how with Vega I have to start saying my eyes in your flame, and all that. Anyway. Overall, game was pretty good. Diaz I liked how Diaz started to warm up to Claude a little bit. I didn't really like Diaz because I didn't like how he didn't trust anybody and he pretty much hated the world. But I kind of liked how he started to kind of warm up to Claude because he realized that Claude was ultimately going to be the one to protect Reyna because Diaz felt like that he couldn't. But, overall, the game's pretty good. I enjoyed it. If you want to go buy it, then go buy it. And, of course, the battle system, I don't know if I've said this earlier, but the battle system is, the standard for Star Ocean. I mean, that's all I can say about it. Fun game. Okay, now Star Ocean 3. Now, this was the first game that I played, and that's kind of common. It's kind of like how the first Tales game that everyone played was Symphonia. The first Star Ocean game I played was Star Ocean 3. Oh, and, just in case you guys are wondering, Fate owns Lloyd. I'm sorry to say, but Fate owns